Hey Spidey, I'm using your content, but your voice ain't gonna be in the game.
What you mean my voice not gonna be in it?
Well, I need to use it for some other
For
content.
who?
For Miles Morales.
His game not even out, bro.
I know, but the fans want to hear it.
But I'm Peter Parker. I'm the original.
I understand that, but the fans want to hear.
For the what?
The fans,
Man,
bro.
fuck them fans. I'm the original. Fuck
How you gonna
them.
say fuck them fans and they the one keeping us
You
going?
just gonna shelf me?
Yes.
All right, bet. I don't want you to play my game no more.
Whatever.
You can't talk to Mary Jane no more.
You don't even talk to Mary Jane. Fuck you talking about?
So we working on it. Man, you know what? You a hater. Bye.
Whatever.
Bye.
All right, start the video. Yo guys, what's up? Nappyhead Millie back again once again, and today I'm gonna do a little bit of a different video. As you see the gameplay of Spider-Man being a little punk and swinging around. He got a little attitude because he's not gonna be in this video. But yeah, I want to actually talk about Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, like, share, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe, and leave a comment if you like or dislike what I say in this video. This is just a discussion, a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of who I would like to see. And yeah, but let's get started. So what I want to talk about is a little bit of what I seen in the trailer and some potential villains that we could have come into the game. Now, you're going to see gameplay, but you're also going to see some of the trailer in the background. Obviously, it's going to be my music and muted for obvious reasons. Well, going ahead looking at this trailer, one thing that we do know that one of the main villains, or the main villain, is going to be the Tinker, which is really interesting to me for two reasons. One, the Tinker is female, and not to say we don't need more female villains, but the Tinker in the actual comics is a male, Phineas Mason. And two, she's actually in the fight. You know what I'm saying? The original Tinker, even though he was shown as a villain at first, he's more of a supporting role. He's more of a watchdog. For those of you that don't, not a watchdog, I'm sorry, a war dog. For those of you that don't know what a war dog is somebody that's, they're in the fights, but they're basically just selling the weapons to both sides, either both sides or one specific side. So the Tinker used to be a supervillain that just really sold his weapons to the supervillains. In this instance, she's fighting. So one thing I do want to see is one of her boss battles. Are we going to see the toy? So now I want to talk about the combat itself, because we see the underground supporting some of the Tinker's creations. So you see some of them with gauntlets, you see some of them with these weird looking armbands. It's not like a full armband, but you can see they can create weapons themselves. You see some of them create gauntlets, you see some of them create guns, and that has me wondering, is the Tinker does she have the ability to just create out of thin air with any metals or anything that's laying around, or is this just a weapon that she created? Because that would be different from the comic books. And going back to the toy where the Tinker used the toy to attack Miles Morales, will we even have a toy, or will the toy be just a lieutenant that can use multiple different weapons at any given time? And speaking of Miles himself, Miles, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a scene where the truck blows up. I forgot the name of the chemicals. I probably should know the name of the chemicals. I'll put it in notations here. But it blows up, and Miles' spider sense doesn't go off. But when he's in combat, when you see him fight later on, you see his spider senses going off left and right when people are shooting at him. So going to Roxxon, is he able to detect the chemicals? Or are we looking at a Miles Morales that is still learning his powers? And that's an interesting question, because we don't know the timeline. We just know it's in Harlem right now. It's looking like it's going from Harlem to the Brooklyn Bridge. And we don't know what happened to Peter at this moment, unless they're going by the comic books. And if they're going by the comic books, he's already been killed off by Green Goblin. And Green Goblin's been killed off by him, which nullifies Green Goblin being a villain in this game. But also, we don't know how far Miles has been in his training. You know, we don't know if Miles knows exactly how to be Spider-Man yet, or if he's still, like, if we're looking at movie Miles, still trying to figure it out. We just know he knows he has a spider sense. It's not really going off. He does have combat abilities, and we're still trying to figure it all out. Now, for villains is going to be tough, but I got some interesting ones for you guys. Because I haven't talked about Roxxon yet. I should have talked about them at first. But Roxxon is a interesting one because they have villains that you typically don't see in the Marvel Universe. You actually seen some of these villains and stuff like Luke Cage, the Avengers, if you read the early Avengers comic books, but you've never seen them in Spider-Man. So let's go over a couple of choices that we can have. So I don't know why, but my mic cut out, but let's go over the villains real quick. So let's talk about Roxxon. Roxxon they start off as an oil company, but they've been diving in to technology and things like that. If you read on the wiki, which I should have pulled up the wiki, a little bit of fandom, it is said that they have a lot of, let's just say they've been in mass destruction qualities of many. And they, over the years, have worked with different villains to include Manticore, Delphine Courtney, which Delphine Courtney is an interesting one because she's a part of the Omega Flight Crew. Now, the Omega Flight Crew is a team of super villains. And when you hear the word Omega, what do you think that pops in your head if you've been reading Marvel or at least playing Marvel video games for a minute? That's right, Omega Red. And fun fact, Miles Morales actually had a fight with Omega Red in the comic books. Now, I'm not 100% on what was the whole conflict, so I can't, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert. You've seen me with the wikis open, looking for information, looking at ideas of who can and can't be in the game. But another person that is interesting to me is they've worked with Bushmaster. Now, Bushmaster is a Luke Cage villain. He's the Luke Cage villain. But where does he reside? Harlem, right? And since he works with Roxxon, it will be in his best interest to protect their investment. So I could see Bushmaster coming into this world and maybe something happening where he does something with Miles's mother, because as we also seen in the trailer, it looked like Roxxon was protecting her as the whole meet was going on. So from the looks of it, Miles' mother is working with Roxxon as a politician. So I can see Bushmaster coming to intervene because Miles' mother might find out some information she wasn't supposed to find out about, or Miles himself might find out some information that he wasn't supposed to find out himself, and they send Bushmaster out to fight him and assassinate him, or assassinate his mother. Obviously, Spider-Man having to step in, and there's a fight right there. Same with Omega Red, because the Tinkerer is involved. They could send the Omega Flight Crew after the Tinkerer, and we could either have a boss battle where you're fighting all 5 of them and Omega Red, or just straight up Omega Red. So you will also get to see Delphine Courtney in the mix. Even Manticore, and I'm just looking from the Roxxon point of view. I haven't looked into the Underground. The Underground is looking like it's just something created specifically for this game. I might be wrong, but you do have, if we're gonna go nostalgic, like I said, I can't see Green Goblin if this is Universe 1610. I can't see it being Green Goblin in the game, but I could see Mysterio. I could see a Mysterio, or if they want to take it the movie route, instead of having Dr. Octavius, have Dr. Octavia. Now, the story with Dr. Octavia would be a little bit different because it comes down to how long has Peter been dead. Because a lot of people are saying Peter's on vacation and Miles Morales doesn't pop up until Peter dies in the comics. Well, not in the comics. He's a major development and arcs for him happens after Peter dies. Because that's what pushes him to be the next Spider-Man. For just a quick little snippet, he feels regret for not helping Peter out during the Green Goblin and Spider-Man fight. He feels regret for not stepping in and helping because he feels Peter could have been there. And then he hears Mary Jane gives the speech just like in the movie about with great power comes great responsibility, and that what pushes him to be Spider-Man. So, but those are just a couple of villains. Like I said, Bushmaster, I can see Omega Red. We already know the Tinkerer. Oh, one last one. What am I doing? His uncle. The reason I want to talk about his uncle because we kind of already know his uncle is going to be in it. That's another thing that kind of pushed him to go, become Spider-Man. And if you don't know who his uncle is, the Prowler. So we know the Prowler is going to be in the game. I'm pretty sure they will have a storyline of the Prowler working on Roxxon as well. And that's what I'm saying. It could tie into the movie where instead of it being just the Prowler going after it, it's the Prowler, maybe Omega Red, and maybe Bushmaster. And this is just general ideas. Of course, I want to see Mysterio. Of course, I would love to see Reptile in there. Reptile would be another major one. Fisk getting out of jail, and that's another one. I know a lot of people say they don't want to see Fisk, but Fisk does play a major part in Miles Morales. So there's a couple of villains, but the major one I would love to see is if they throw Omega Red going at, the underground. And it's like you have to stop him, but you also have to stop the Tinkerer. And it would be mad dope. But other than that, not too much. I don't want to keep this video too long. Like I said, speculations. I already did my first impressions, just speculations, ideas, thoughts, what I seen in the trailer, breaking down the trailer just a little bit. If you like the content, yet again, like, share, subscribe. And before I go, if you do want to comment, if you don't like my content, if you don't like the substance that I'm saying, don't leave remarks. I'm sad I have to say this. Don't leave remarks that come off as racist and ignorant. If you don't like something, there's a dislike button for a reason. Hit the dislike button. Tell me you don't like my video so that way I know as a creator, I need to go at it a whole different way. But to call people monkeys, and yes, somebody honestly called me a monkey in my video. To call people monkeys and go at somebody because you don't agree with their comments, I'm just going to block you off this page and you'll never see my content again. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I hate that I have to say this at the end of the video. Have a good video, but it's got to be notified. If I don't say it, somebody else won't do it. They'll continue to do it. And if I can stop one person, it's good enough. But other than that, like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.